As the principal of the school, I do hereby certify that the students present before me today have met the New York State and the New York City Department of Education requirements for high school graduation.
And now it's my honor to introduce our salutatorian for the class of 2023, Mr. Jet Young.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing today?
Good.
If you guys can't tell, I am GLC's 23, one and only Salutatorian. Without further ado, I will start my speech. Resilience. The capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. Resilience. The ability to spring back into shape. Today, I'm here to talk about resilience. But first, let's thank all of the people who made sure we would have the chance to show the world how resilient we are. Everyone made it here because somebody had their back. Maybe it was a parent or two or four. Maybe it was grandparents or aunts or uncles or your best friends. Maybe it was a teacher or a guidance counselor, or maybe, probably, most likely, it was your friends. That one's for you, Adrian. So let's take a moment to thank everyone who helped us get through high school, and to everyone who wrote letters of recommendations for us all. Thank you, Ms. Ramos and Ms. Amada, from all of us going to college. Mr. Edziniak and Mr. Pika, thank you for writing my letters. Another thanks to Mr. Pika and Mr. Spala for preparing me for the public speaking I have to do today. Thank you to Mr. DeBella and Ms. Balthazar for not losing me in Morocco. Mr. Miller, you should be glad to know I'm pursuing science at college. Thank you, Mr. Yan and Ms. Shen, for far too many things to list. I can't name every teacher I had in the past 4 years, but for me to be up here today means you guys excel in your jobs. So thank you, of course. And thank you to Principal Chiluiza and Mr. Cresco and all of the faculty and staff here at GLC for making sure we learn about ourselves as part of a larger world. And of course, thank you all for being here today. So if you would please find somebody in the crowd and tell them that you're thankful for them, that would be greatly appreciated.
I appreciate you.
Of course, I also owe thanks to my parents, who are sitting right over there. I'm proud of you guys for raising me to be so awesome. Just kidding, of course. Seriously though, thank you for doing everything you do to make me feel so cool. The final thanks to my aunt and uncle and my brother Shasa over there for being here today. I also have to thank my grandmothers. One of them, Mama, was a resilient, hardworking, and loving Chinese grandma who used to cook for us when we were little. She's undoubtedly looking down at me right now, saying, Jet, what you doing? That's kind of Chinese grandma for, oh my God, but in a good way. And I have to tell you about my other name. We call her Nella. I gave her a name, not to flex or anything, but maybe a little bit. She can't be here today because she's taking care of my grandfather, who is in the Naval Academy, has Parkinson's and dementia. She's an amazing public speaker and gives me a lot of notes whenever I have to do a speech. Yes, Nella, I'm crushing it for you.
Yeah!
Hopefully. She also taught me a lot about what resilience really looks like. She came to the US from Vietnam with my grandfather, my mom, and a 6th grade education. 6th grade. Do you remember 6th grade? But still, she learned to drive, got her GED, went to community college, and then to a university, and then spent 20 years writing her life story in English. What started as an assignment in an English language learners class became her book, Crossing the Bamboo Bridge, Memoirs of a Bad Love. She also published a Vietnamese cookbook to invite the ancestors home. She showed all of her kids and continues to show all of her grandkids what it means to value an education. Hers was taken from her as a child because she was a poor girl residing in Vietnam. She was told her brothers would go instead of her. So for her, the chance to get an education in America is a privilege that she never lets any of us take for granted. She shows us the difference that strong public education can make for all people. So my standing here today as your salutatorian has everything to do with that little girl who wouldn't give up, even when her culture told her she wasn't worth educating, and who wouldn't give up, even when another culture told her she wasn't smart enough just because she couldn't speak English. Today, she would tell all of you to never waste your education. Not everyone gets to happen. Resilience, the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. My grandparents showed me all about resilience, but now it's our turn to show the world what that looks like today. When we started high school, there were so many expectations, so many ideas of how it would all play out. The challenges, the adventures, the new experiences. I'm pretty sure that when all of us started high school, nowhere in those expectations was surviving a global pandemic. But we did. We survived and we thrived. And now we're all moving on. I'm not done yet. Back in the distant past of our freshman year, when the world shut down, we stepped up. Many of us were forced to live our lives and to go to school in tight spaces or shared rooms. There were no classrooms to study in, no studio to dance in with Miss Francis, no gym to play bowling with Mentagis, and no hallways to pass through. Our worlds collapsed into tiny bubbles, floating in an uncertain limbo, separated from so many possibilities. Severed from the personal interactions that educated and inspired us, it seemed like some of the new communities being built just disappeared. For me, I had just gotten to go to Washington, D.C. and to visit the 1619 Project at the African American History Museum. That trip reinforced my understanding of just how much of this country was built on stolen lives. But it also gave me a chance to meet people in a new school. I thought my new friends and I would hang out all spring, but that future was not meant to be. However, even lockdowns could not keep us down. We kept going, we showed up, we stayed in school and kept working. Even if everything was suddenly confined to a computer screen, we took the challenges of that lockdown and we turned them into keys, opening doors to worlds of creativity and connection. I'll admit that when high school started, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to work, but it did. It worked because we worked. We put in the time and we made the sacrifices. I mean, we even went to prom in the middle of the smoke apocalypse. And according to Pika, we looked pretty damn good doing that, didn't we? Didn't we? Come on.
Yeah.
But I'm also really digging the outfit y'all got on today. I mean, as you can tell, I'm also a big fan of the look. Resilience, rising up from the fall. The world will try to push us down, but I know we can get up. After all that we've been through in the past 4 years, I know that there's nothing that can stop us on any path we choose. When the world opened up again and we returned to in-person schooling in our junior year, a lot of people said a lot of things about how behind we were, or how there was a learning loss. What they didn't understand is that we learned plenty. We learned that we can survive. We are the generation that survives. It would be so easy to just give up in the face of all ongoing justices in this country. But I know that we won't. And I know that we know that we will keep fighting for all the things we know are right. But I also know that some of us might question how. So let me tell you a saying from my karate coach. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. For as long as I can remember, I've been connected with the karate dojo down the block from my apartment. Starting so young, I can barely even remember anything else from that time, besides showing up for class. It's one of the places that has had the most influence on me growing up. We end every class with an inspirational speech from our shihan, or teacher. He taught me to compare myself not to those around me, but to how I was the day before. As long as you're doing better than you were yesterday, you shouldn't have to worry about how those around you are doing. Comparison is the thief of joy. Come from overcoming what you can do. It comes from overcoming what you thought you couldn't. And as Nelson Mandela once said, courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. To be brave, to be resilient, isn't about us not feeling fear. Being resilient is being able to withstand our fear, to withstand changes, to withstand failure. And as my mom says, artists and scientists know that failure becomes innovation once you stop fearing it. Learning is paying attention to when things change. Learning is change. It's changing your mind and changing your abilities. And as we all know, change is the only constant in the equation of our lives. And well, things are about to change in a big way, right? We might be about to move out of families' homes, or not. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Or we might move out of the city or our social circles. And whether it's to go to CUNY, SUNY, the Navy, or Ivy, see you, Genesis and Ashley. If it's to join the Air Force or the workforce, this is it. The end of our 18-year free trial. Life starts now. We did it. K through 12, NYC DOE. Boss battle won and done. Leveled up, survived, changed. GLC 23, resilience.
Bravo!
Now it's my honor to present our valedictorian for the class of 2023, Ms. Genesis Akimanis Vasquez.